Good evening and welcome to another edition of the McGraw Report. I'm Harry McGraw, your host, and today we have another exciting guest on our show. From the Kusmic Café right in the heart of Inglewood, we have Phil Sypta here. He's going to be talking a little bit about the cafe, what's it all about, what they do there, and some of the exciting things that's going on right there in this little pocket of Inglewood that you might have, overlooked. And we're going to talk about it and, talk to Phil about what they do there, some of the things that's been going on there. So we want you to give Phil a call at 312-738-1060. And first of all, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show, Phil.
No problem.
It's really a pleasure to have you here. Phil and I talked in the cafe. Kusmic Café is a delight. It's a real gem in the heart of Inglewood. So if you're riding down 69th Street going west off Halsted, if you're not paying attention, you blow right by it, But it's a small little corner area, and it's really doing some big things there. This is like the third year, right?
We just made 3 years in November. Yeah.
And, the cafe is so great. The one thing I appreciated about it when I went there was the fact that it was extremely friendly, user-friendly to the community. When some businesses come in our communities like Inglewood and Roseland and parts of the west side, they're not too friendly. You have bulletproof glass and bars and things like that. But this cafe is different. It's very open air. It's got like a loft look with all the exposed brick.
Yeah.
And I really love the atmosphere that it provides. It's really like a gathering place more so than a cafe. And, Phil, you do a wonderful job there. Why don't you tell the people where it's located and how long you've been there?
Yeah, well, the Kusmic Café is located on 69th and Green, so 825 West 69th Street, right in Inglewood. We're a nonprofit cafe, like Harry said. But I like to comment on what you were just saying. One of the interesting things, that was very intentional about what we did. So we wanted to be all kind of resident run, so all of our board members are residents of the community. But we got a little bit of flack early on. People were saying, "Oh, you should put some bars up. You got to know it's a dangerous neighborhood." But I think it's a difference when you actually live and reside in the neighborhood that you serve. You view things a little differently, and I think we all kind of said, we know our neighbors. We know that if you extend a little respect, our neighbors will extend that respect back to us.
And respect goes a long way.
It does.
It really does. And, a lot of times, Phil, the community of Inglewood catches a bad rap. There's a lot of unnecessary violence that goes on in the community. But, for some reason, Inglewood seems to be right there on the top of the charts when it comes to the news. But since you guys showed up there, along with the Whole Foods that they built right down the street on 63rd and Green, and they also have a Chipotle and a Starbucks, the Kusmic Café is that one little corner that you can kind of count on for melting pot of people to show up. And I gotta say, the food is absolutely fantastic. Okay, I have to say that the breakfast menu is so exciting. You have some real fancy names with the sandwiches for lunch. I had the the Hammaster J for lunch today. It was delicious, along with some soup. And then they also have a lot of activities and events going on there that the community can get involved in. So I don't know if you're into spoken word, if you like jazz or a little Brazilian music, maybe you just like to read or go on the internet and surf. This is the cafe for you, right, Phil?
Yeah, and we were really intentional with a lot of things. First, we wanted to be a gathering place for all of Inglewood, not just middle-class residents of Inglewood or people that were way into coffee. We wanted to be a place that everybody felt at home. And we thought that would be the kind of place that was needed in our community because we needed to build bonds between all the different types of people in the neighborhood. I think a lot of times Inglewood just reported on very monolithically, like there's just one type of person that lives in Inglewood, and that's just not true. I think I've been living there 8 years, and I've realized that it is a wildly diverse group of people, even just that live on my block alone. And I think that's what makes the cafe special, is that you do have that collection of people coming in on a given day that I don't think exist in a different cafe. I think a lot of different cafes, they're in more, I guess, I don't want to say like homogenous neighborhoods, and so they have all the same type of people. And Inglewood is just wildly diverse, and that's really interesting to me to see. And I think one of the things we were really intentional about as a board in deciding the cafe is we wanted to have really good food. We didn't want to just be good for Inglewood. We wanted to be good for the city of Chicago, and we wanted to offer it to our neighbors. And I think we priced things so that we wanted everybody to be able to come in and be able to afford something. And so all of those decisions about how to decorate it and what food to offer and how much to charge, we all kind of said, are we thinking about everybody in our neighborhood? Are we keeping them in mind when we're doing all these things?
Phil Sypta is my guest on the McGraw Report. Give him a call, 312-738-1060. We're talking about the Kusmic Café right in the heart of Inglewood. Little gym right there in the neighborhood, right off of 69th and Green. Give them a call. You want to enjoy yourself, have a good time, find a place that, not too many people know about, that's kind of exclusive. This is the place for you. Give them a call, 312-738-1060. And I'd like to know if there are other people out there that live in Inglewood that may have not even checked this place out yet. This is one place that you should really experience. Now, we know tomorrow is Valentine's Day, Phil, big deal for a lot of people. And would you recommend stopping in the cafe for a cup of coffee on Valentine's Day?
Oh, most definitely. This is the place to take a date. All right, on Valentine's Day.
All right, I just bailed you out, fellas. Now you can't ask for much more than that the day before Valentine's Day. We got a caller on the line. Caller, go ahead.
Hello, Mr. McGraw.
Yes.
I'm calling in preference to this Whole Foods. Could you both of you guys, could you answer this question? In the next 10 years, who is going to be living in Inglewood?
Wow. You know what?
This is why they're putting those Whole Foods, those stores out there. In the next 10 years, who is going to be living in Inglewood?
Well, I tell you, part of what I did was I had the alderman who passed away, who was the alderman of that ward at the time, come on my show. And I asked that same question about the gentrification of the community. And it really wasn't about that. I think there was some food deserts in Inglewood at the time, and there was a real need from the community to get fresh, healthy food in the community. And I think that's when Whole Foods stepped up and decided to come in and be a part of what's going on there. And they even lowered their prices. And so, right down the block, you got, Kusmic Café, which is another gym in the community. And if you go in there and you get yourself a cup of coffee or maybe get yourself a bowl of soup and a sandwich, you're talking reasonable prices. I mean, I went in there today and I tell you, the budget that I was on, this helped me out a lot because I was able to get a fresh, healthy meal at an affordable price. And I think that's part of the goal, right?
Yeah, and I think this is a great question. I think this is something Inglewood has been undergoing some very interesting changes over the last few years. And I think it's interesting to look at. I think there's a lot of things that have been going on, but I think also Inglewood has undergone decades of injustice. I don't believe it's going to be changing anytime soon because it takes a long time to do that. I think it's an interesting problem, and it's something that we need to look at. But I think for the cafe's purposes, we don't exist to bring new residents in. We exist to serve our local residents and be a better place, make it better for those people that are already living here.
And thank you for that question, caller. a lot of people have concerns about that, but I think when it comes to this particular cafe, they're not in it for the money. This is a non-for-profit organization, and you can see that they're looking for harmony in the community. We got another caller on the line. Caller, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. McGraw, I'm sorry I got cut off, but I'm calling back to ask another question. Mario's. Now, Mario is supposed to be out there somewhere. Okay, now, this city is already mapped out. I know that for facts. The city is already mapped out. Our aldermen, they know that. When you say Inglewood, it's already mapped out. Like I said, and I'll say it again, in 10 years from now, I would like to know what type of residents that will be living in Inglewood. That would be a big surprise to everybody because Inglewood is close by transportation, it's close by the airport.
That's true.
And it's a lot of things that are going on in which I wish people would go out to these meetings and they could find out a lot.
Yeah,
Instead
well,
of sitting at home.
one of the things that I think is helping Inglewood is the fact that these businesses are coming around. You know, the cafe itself is not one of those businesses that's in it for the money. I think most of the people, if not all of the people on the board, are residents of the community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they have an input in the direction that the cafe goes in. In addition to that, they promote literacy. If you were able to stop into that cafe, you'll find books there. You know, if you wanted to read a book, you can, take a book and, leave a book. That's the policy, right?
Yeah, and I think, even to keep going, I think, to answer your question, I think ethnically, Inglewood's going to look very similar in 10 years than it does now. And I think the reason...
I really hope I'd be around to see it in 10 years from now.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things. I think, despite all the changes, there's unfortunately the city's been doing things in the neighborhood also that have been hurting us from ever developing. They keep tearing down our buildings in the neighborhood, and I think that hurts more than anything. I've gotten to talk with a few people that are in the neighborhood. Everybody kind of comes through the cafe, developers, residents in the neighborhood, and a lot of developers are really, they're not interested in building on vacant land. I think they're interested in rehabbing buildings, and unfortunately the city keeps tearing our buildings down, and that breaks my heart because a lot of those buildings are gorgeous. And
yes, they are. It's a really beautiful area. The building that the cafe is located in it's got apartments up above or some units up above, but it's a corner spot. Beautiful building, beautiful brick, and the "You Are Beautiful" sign on the other side of the street kind of gives you a good marker of where to find it. And it's just one of those diamond in the rough type places that most people don't really look at unless they're really looking for it, And believe me, I drove by a couple of times looking for it because I wanted to get my hands on some of that. Is that fried oatmeal?
The baked oatmeal.
Baked oatmeal. Oh, my
yes.
God.
Oh, yes.
My God. Healthy for you. Delicious food. I've never had baked oatmeal before. I don't know if any of you callers have ever had that, but you got to try this cafe. Give Phil a call, 312-738-1060. We're talking about the Kusmic Café, located in the heart of Inglewood, right off of 69th and Woods. And Phil is here to talk to you, Chicago, about this brand new venture. Now, it's been around for about 3 years. Last November, I think, made 3 years for them. So they've really been doing great. Now, the way I see it, Phil, the feel there is more organic. It's not rushed. I don't see you guys pushing people into anything. You can go in there and read a book, play dominoes, just chat it up. Why did you guys take this approach for that particular venue?
Well, I think that's a really great point, Harry. I think one of the reasons we wanted to do that is because we wanted to do everything through the lens of what would be most empowering for our neighbors. And I think a lot of nonprofits kind of look at a neighborhood or look at an area and say, well, these are all the problems, and this is how we're going to fix them all. We realize that we're not the best people to fix problems. Inglewood residents themselves are the best problem. Even though we were all Inglewood residents, we said, if the neighborhood's going to be empowered, we want them to control things, and we thought that was the best. And that's really hard to do. What you want to do is you want to take somebody and go, oh, you would be good to talk to this person. I'm going to put you two together. But to just kind of let that happen and hope that it happens is tough to do. But we've done that with all of our events. We kind of say we want them to be homegrown events, and which means that we want Inglewood residents to run these events. We don't run our own events, but people are coming up to us more and more every day and saying, hey, I have a passion for music. I'd like to start a concert series. My friend Eric just did that a couple months ago. He said, I love music. I know artists. I want to bring live music to the community. And we said, go ahead. It's all you. And he's been doing it now for a couple weeks, a couple months now.
So that was the guy with the guitar that was playing the Brazilian music for lunchtime.
He brought him in, so we have a lunchtime music series every second and fourth Wednesday from 12 to 1. Come on in. Free live music. We've had some great bands. We had a jazz trumpeter named Sam Trump come. We also had a neo soul artist, Shawnee Dez, come. It's been incredible to have that. And we've wanted live music. Like our neighbors deserve. Our theory was that our neighbors deserve everything that any other neighborhood deserves. And for some reason, when we first moved in, we were the only sit-down restaurant for 65,000 people, and that kind of injustice didn't make any sense to us as a board, and we just said, we need to be a part of changing this. So everybody deserves to sit down and have a great meal, and to be able to go to a concert or a live show and stuff like that. We want to provide that.
It's really cool. And in addition to all the live music and entertainment, they also do spoken word. Mm-hmm. They also have other events coming up. When I was there, I saw nice Valentine's Day decorations on all the tables, and getting people ready, and the pastries, the cookies. Yeah. It's just, those cookies are the devil. I tell you right now, they have some of the best peanut butter cookies and the oatmeal raisin.
Yeah.
It was something special. Phil's here from the Kusmic Café. Phil Sypta. He is one of the guys you want to talk to when you go there too, because he'll get you going. If you don't know quite what to order, or maybe what to do, Phil's there to kind of get you relaxed and let you enjoy yourself. Give him a call, 312-738-1060. Now you guys got some stuff coming up this weekend as well, right?
We do. We have a bunch of things. We actually have a really interesting storytelling event centered around Valentine's Day. So Saturday night, my friend Clarence goes under Sunny Speaks. He's going to put on a storytelling event. He always does a great job. You should always come out to that. We always have our weekly free yoga session on Saturday at 11:30 to 12:15. Come. It's sponsored by another Inglewood nonprofit, I Grow Chicago. And we have some great rotating teachers, and it's another great event that we have. So there's always something going on here.
Always something. You got to check this out. Now, for all you guys that's kind of waiting to the last minute, you're down to the last, 6 hours or so. Valentine's Day will be here. You want to do something nice? Don't go run to the local CVS and pick up some junk. Take your lady out for lunch at the cafe. Okay,
there you go.
Take her out, let her sit down, have some great food, be around a great environment, and I don't know, maybe you guys will get a little closer. It's that kind of environment. If you come to the Kusmic Café, it's that kind of environment. Most environments like this you find up north in the Bucktown area or something like that. Maybe it's North Shore, but this is right in the heart of Inglewood, and you don't see this every day. Now you got economic engines over there like Kennedy King College. You got the big box stores that's over there now that you can see anytime. But this is special. This is for the community, by the community, in the community. And you want to take advantage of stuff like that. And if you live in the Inglewood community right now, I think you should be inspired to do something positive in your own community. And this is one of the things that I think could do that.
And I want to point out, too, I think one of the things is sometimes I end up getting to talk about it since I'm there at the cafe the most, but this was something that I joined along with a lot of other people. we did a couple fundraisers in the neighborhood, and a lot of community residents donated their own money to help get this started. Community residents were on the board to help it out. People volunteered their time. And I think one of the things I realized that's just also just really underreported is a lot of the generosity and goodness of Inglewood residents. I think that was the thing that always blows me away is people are more willing to give, I think, there than I ever could have imagined in different places that I've lived. And people said, I want to help out. I want to be a part. And I think for me, when we started this, we came up against a lot of problems, I think. And when we started peeling back the layers of injustice, like everything was really hard. We couldn't find space to lease. It was my neighbors and people around the community that kept saying, we got to keep this going. What do we need to do to keep it going? And I think the cafe would not have existed if it had not been for the incredible volunteering and the support of the Inglewood community.
It's the people's place. Once you go there, you'll know. If it had not been for the community, if it had not been for the residents of Inglewood, this place wouldn't be there. It's just an organic feel to it. You know it when you walk in there. This is something good in the hood. You need to check it out. Kusmic Café right on 69th and Green. Now, there was one more thing I wanted you to do, Phil, before I let you go. Why don't you give the folks out there the website, because I know it's a very nice website that you guys got out there, and the phone number if they have any questions about how to, get involved.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, our website is kusanycafe.org. So that is KUSANYACAFE.org. And on there you can find a whole bunch of information on the different things that we do. Our menu is up there, some coming events, also different things like caterings that we do, and just different things that we offer, and also kind of our mission behind what we do. If I didn't explain it as well as I wanted to, that's all up there too. But also our Facebook page, if you look at Kusmic Café on Facebook, we always update that for all the different upcoming things that we're doing. So if you live in the Inglewood community, you want to be a part, not just a part of the cafe, but if you want to get involved and you want to meet people who are doing things in the community, not us, but people that are doing things, we've been blessed enough to be a little bit of that gathering place where people that are really the heroes doing the hero work in Inglewood end up coming for lunch and talking and having meetings about their organizations. And I think that's probably one of the biggest pleasures for me. I'm just sitting back there making coffee, and I get to watch some of the most incredible people in the neighborhood come through there and talk about how they've been doing great things for years and what they're continuing to do. And I think that's one of the things that inspires me a lot.
Now, what we're going to do here with the McGraw Foundation, we're going to put a link on our Twitter page, our Instagram, and Facebook for Kusmic Café. But if you want to find out more information, you can go to us as well. Or you can just send me an email at mcgrawreport@gmail.com, and we'll make sure that we get that information right back to you, because we definitely want you to check out the cafe. It's a great place in Inglewood. I'm sure you guys will love it. And they also have some apprenticeship information as well. Some of the techniques that they do for making coffee and just, some of the culinary techniques are very, very useful, not just to work there, but anywhere in hospitality and culinary. And I think it's a great organization. I know the McGraw Foundation is going to be working very closely with Phil and trying to, accent some more great programs in this little diamond in the rough there. What do you think about that, Phil?
Hey, that sounds great, Harry. I appreciate
Fantastic. We want to thank you, Chicago, for checking out the McGraw Report. Tune in again next week where we'll have another exciting guest. I know Chicago, you're going to love this restaurant. You're going to love this cafe. You're going to love the mission of this non-for-profit organization. And Phil's going to be there to greet you with a handshake and a smile. And go in there, get some of that great coffee and some of those cookies. Oh, the cookies. I can't talk enough about the cookies. This is Phil Sypta. I'm Harry McGraw, and we'll see you next time on the McGraw Report. Remember, go over there to Inglewood and check it out. It's really a great place. Thanks so much, Phil, for coming, man.
Thank you, Harry.
Appreciate you. And we'll see you again next time on the McGraw Report. Take care.